Hello and welcome to Bible Bites. I am Pastor Michaela. Today our story is a tricky one, to be honest. It is from Joshua chapter 6, and it is when the Israelites walk around the walls of Jericho and then they come tumbling down. You might remember a song about this from your youth. It certainly has been in my head this past week. When we look at this story, it's sort of framed as though God promised special land to the Israelite people, the Hebrew people, and God is going to make do on that promise. But there are also some obstacles in the way of the Israelites getting to this promised land, and one of them is the big sort of fortress of Jericho. So they are told by God that instead of fighting like normal, normal for that time and place, context is everything, they are just supposed to walk around the city gates for, I believe it's 7 days. And of course they're like, well, how is that going to work or do anything? But after they walk around it, they follow God's instructions, they blow the trumpets, and the walls do in fact fall. Now, this story is tricky because even though the Israelites are getting what was promised to them, there is destruction and violence in the path. One of the ways that we can think about these types of stories with our kids is to certainly keep it basic, make it be about God did something sort of seemingly impossible, that the walls fell without force or without hurting the structure. And you also might not want to go down the road of that the people of Jericho somehow deserved this punishment or cruelty. That can be a way of interpreting this story, but for our kids that can potentially lead to dangerous interpretations later of how they treat people and things like that. So I would stick to God did something miraculous and unexplained and unexpected. One of the things that you can also talk about with this story is we sometimes need to do things that go against the grain. God said instead of trying to wage a battle on a fortress, you should just walk around it. What is it like for you to talk about your kids about a time where they had to go against sort of what was popular? Maybe everyone was making fun of one kid, but they decided not to do that. Maybe everybody was throwing rocks even though they weren't supposed to, and your child didn't, or things like that. Sometimes as Christians, we, to follow Jesus and to do what is right according to our faith, we have to do what might not be popular or expected, or do what everybody else is doing. And so that can be a lesson out of this story as well. And of course, make this story very tangible and play with blocks, build towers, and knock them down and just have fun with it. It's okay if your kids don't grasp all of the complexities of it, but you as a parent might be struggling with sort of the violence that can happen in these stories. And it's all important things to explore at the right age and the right time. So enjoy the walls of Jericho and build some fun towers out of whatever you've got, cardboard, blocks, pillows, and enjoy taking turns and knocking down your towers. I would like to leave you with a blessing. May God's love be in our hearts, in our mouths, in our minds. May God's love work through our hands and lead us in every way.